For part 11 of our Dii Consentes series, we'll be discussing the Roman god Mercury. Mercury was the son of Jupiter. A clever god, he was considered the trickster of the Roman pantheon, and often took things that weren't his. Despite this, the other gods admired his cunning, and many times let him keep some or part of what he stole, often in exchange for something they wanted. Mercury was the god of commerce, which means trading, or buying and selling, communication, and travel. Mercury was easily the fastest of the gods, and so he was in charge of communicating important information to the other gods when they were far away. He used this ability to his advantage, and often, Mercury controlled exactly what got communicated. Because he was a trickster god, he could tell somebody something that was nearly the truth with a little embellishment, and then sit back and watch their embarrassment when they acted on the partially fake information. Just like his Greek counterpart, Hermes, Mercury had a winged helmet that allowed him to fly, as well as winged shoes, and he carried a powerful rod with wings and serpents wrapped around it. As his name suggests, Mercury was the god of merchants, since he was the patron of trade, buying, and selling. Some people believe that his name stems from the Latin root word merx, which indicates merchandise. This would make a lot of sense, since he is a god of constant motion, and buying and selling merchandise means that these goods are always on the move too. In ancient Rome, one of the days of the week was named after Mercury. This day was Wednesday, or in Latin, Mercurii. Often, the major market day of the week fell on Wednesday, so it made sense to dictate the day traders would do business to the god of trade. Similarly, travelers who planned to take a long journey would often leave on this day to seek the blessings of Mercury. The most common symbol of Mercury was a staff with two serpents winding around it. At the top of the staff were two wings that sprouted outwards. Back then, this special staff was known by the same name as it is today, the caduceus. Despite being a symbol of commerce, trade, and productivity, it was eventually mixed up with another, similar stick with a snake wrapped around it, and so it also came to be known as a symbol representing the medical field. To further cement his place as a god of commerce, another common symbol of Mercury was the coin. Coins were super important in ancient Rome since they didn't have paper money. The only way to get a fair deal on something that was being bought or sold was to use coins. The Latin word for coin is moneta. Mercury did have his own festival in the Roman society, although not much is recorded about it. His festival, the Mercuralia, took place on May 15th, and during the festival, merchants would sprinkle their heads and goods with holy water. If they traded by boat, they would sprinkle their ships as well. If a merchant owned a building, he would even climb a ladder to sprinkle the top of the building. Mercury was not the most important deity in the daily lives of most Romans. He was, however, very important to the people that made their lives comfortable. Without merchants to buy and sell, Romans wouldn't have had such a high quality of life. And, since Mercury was the god of those merchants, he was important to the Roman ecosystem as a whole.